Good afternoon. My name is Mark Brohan. We are here with MBOSS Mastermind Speaks, and we're talking with Mary Tobiason, nationally well-known triathlete, coach, and entrepreneur. And we're here today to kind of learn about athletic movement perfected. So Mary, welcome to Mastermind Speaks, and thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me, Mark.
All right. Mary, you're very well known as a triathlete and as a coach. So let's start with that. Let's talk about your background. How long have you been triathletes? Why is that your passion? And then let's talk about your race experience here.
So I've started as an athlete, actually at the age of 8. Loved what movement did for my psychological well-being. Ended up becoming certified as a trainer in college and continued to compile certifications along with more mainstream degrees. Got out of college, wrote for the Daily Herald, did a little bit of broadcast journalism, and went back to my true passion, which was fitness. I've always loved helping people, seeing people's lives change, and how it can, through fitness, make all aspects of people's lives better.
And if I understand, you've competed in 100 different events total, or 100 triathlon events, including Kona. And let's discuss that. What is a full Ironman? What's Kona? What is for those who don't know endurance sports? What are we talking about with the full Ironman?
So the full Ironman is 140.6 miles. It entails a 2.5-mile open water swim, some in the ocean, depending on the venue, 112-mile bike, and then it finishes off with a full marathon, which is 26.2 miles. So there are events all over the world, and the top 3% from those events go on to the World Championships in Kona. So I've had the pleasure, and I'm grateful that I've been able to qualify for that 4 times. I've competed 3, loved every minute of it, and it's really more about what it does for your life. It helps with organization, with mental strategies, with helping you relax, prioritize, and really to have that kind of a lifestyle, you have to look at holistic health. So you have to really mind your nutrition. You've got to be strong, you've got to be flexible, and you've really got to know who you are to be able to kind of dig that deep and produce.
Now you've been in the healthcare business, the healthcare fitness wellness business, the endurance sports coaching and business, both as an athlete and as an owner, entrepreneur, executive. And so, if I understand correctly, you've got 20 plus years, 25 plus years of experience. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your background.
So I started out as a trainer in college and really enjoyed that. Competed in some local college events. Ran a little bit at University of Iowa. Graduated, went back into journalism, had a couple kids, and wanted to be with my kids and wanted to go back to my passion. So I started teaching classes, and within a few years, I opened my own coaching business. So I opened it, and I've worked with athletes of all ages and abilities from all different areas of sport. So what we look at Athletic Movement Perfected is really movement patterns. So what is the kinetic line that your body moves in sport specifically, so that we can make sure that people's mobility is perfect and that we equip them with the best individualized strength routine for their body. So when they come in, we do a series of assessments to see what is this person's body all about, how do they move, and what do they need? Because regardless of how fit they are, everyone needs different strength. Everyone has different range of motion limitations. So that's how we really customize, and we get to know our athletes. And that's kind of what we've always done. I've always studied movement and tried to apply that to the individual. And that kind of speaks to our entire perspective of really individualized training, getting to know our people.
And if I understand correctly, you yourself have 20 different certifications.
I do.
What are those, and why did you choose to go and do 20 different certifications? How does that serve you in what you do, both as your own personal coach and endurance athlete, as well as what you're doing for A&P, Athletic Movement Perfected?
Right, and I think the purpose behind every certification has been different. Some of them were self-serving initially so that I could learn more about my own body and how I either excelled or how I failed. I became certified as a sports nutritionist after my first trial in Kona, where I did well, but I vomited for probably 4 hours afterwards. I wanted to figure out what that was about. So I did. And that's only served me better as a coach. I've also had quite a few elderly patients. So I have a geriatric certification. I've had stroke victims that I've worked with. So I have certifications to work with the impaired. I have certifications in functional movement, just so that we can assess movement patterns and be able to deliver precise correctives for people, once again, to keep them as on task and have them have the best chance for becoming the best athlete they can, just by assessing their body. So truly, initially, I was a young kid. I wanted to teach classes because I thought it was cool. And then I just fell in love with the education and realized that as a coach, it's a huge responsibility. And if you're doing one portion of it, if you're just training someone to lift, if you're just doing nutrition, if you're just doing mobility, you're not going to be able to fully bring that person to true health. So to be able to give them information on all aspects of health, fitness, and wellness, you have to know what you're talking about. And I don't like to not know what I'm talking about.